Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
But this is where I want to get to the debate. This is where we're going. See, Kevin, allow me to take the vehicle down the parkway here because this is where we're heading. Louisville also makes an ad. They added their front court here with Kayshawn Pryor of USF, formerly of USF, 13 and 8 per game last year, 45% from the floor. So now the question is this: knowing what Pat Kelsey's doing, knowing what Mark Pope is doing, Rob, you get 90 seconds. Kevin gets 90 seconds. Which roster would you rather have right now, Kentucky or Louisville?
I am probably leaning Kentucky at this moment. But I do think that Pat Kelsey has actually put together a team that's also going to be top 25 good, right? I'm assuming that Kentucky will get one more person as well, whether that's Chaz Lanier, maybe that's Jackson Robinson, whoever it is. I think they got one more player coming. But I really like this Louisville roster too. And I think it's closer than a lot of people give it credit for. Chucky Hepburn at the point. I think Kayshawn Pryor fills a role at the 5 spot that they were kind of missing. I think it's a little bit different than if they would have gotten Great Osibor, but it's the same kind of player, right? Like a stretch 5/4. I think he's a little bit better defensively than what Osibor would have been. But then you got role guys at positions at the 2, 3, 4 spot. I think James Scott is a really high ceiling kind of a player. I think both of those teams are going to be top 25. I probably would lean a little bit towards Kentucky at this point, Sweeney. I don't know where you stand.
I think Louisville has more talent. I think they're a little more athletic, a little more dynamic. Pryor is a really, really interesting piece. Like, he is a guy at 6'10" who's really more of a big wing than a 5, right? And Louisville may play him at the 5 because of the way their roster is shaken out. I do think it'd be nice for them to add one more like traditional center just to have that look. I know James Scott can be that in doses, but like a Case and Pryor lineup with him at the 5 is going to be ridiculously hard to guard because you can lift him up, he can handle the ball. You have guys who can really shoot around him, like Corin Johnson. I mean, remember Terrence Edwards, obviously from JMU, a huge addition.
Yeah.
Like, I love the athleticism that Louisville has. I love the toughness. I think the depth that they're building here with guys off the bench like Abubakar Traore and Connie Roots, who just signed for Michigan commit. Long, athletic. Like this group's size, athleticism, and versatility. Really 3 through 5, I think is really, really interesting and is a great foundation for Pat Kelsey. So I actually think today I would take Louisville's roster.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting about this, Fanta? Real quick, I'll let you weigh in 1 second. I do think that you're seeing these two teams get built in real time in the vision of what both of these coaches want to play like, right? And it's kind of cool to see that happen over the course of 2 months or 6 weeks or whatever it's been, where Louisville's going after a lot of these really versatile, really athletic pieces that where you're like, they're interesting. You could use them in different ways, versatility, athleticism, this, that, the third, right? And then you look at Kentucky and they're like, all right, let's get a bunch of guys that are just absolute drillers that can shoot 40-something% from 3, and good luck trying to guard us, right? I do think it's kind of fun. It's been fun, at least for me, to be able to see those two teams come together the way that they have.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think that you're seeing both these coaches do what they like to do in building out a roster. I think to cap it off, for the first time in years, or what feels like years, and in this rivalry feels like more than a decade, even though it's not, Kentucky Louisville will be majorly relevant as a rivalry again. And I can't wait for that. And I believe that these two coaches are going to end up forming, whether they like each other or not, a hatred for TV that works. Pope is Mr. Kentucky. He wants to be Mr. Lexington. Kelsey will become Mr. Louisville because he's a wild man. He's up at 4 a.m. He's wired. He's crazy. It's a good crazy, Pat. I love you for it. But I think for the first time in years, we're going to see Big Blue Nation and those Cards fans clash because they believe their head coach is better. We'll see what the results on the court are, but that game is circled now because I could see us seeing double technicals with those two coaches unleashing their passion.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.